a 20-minute compound movement muscle building strength workout coming your way. So this has a warm up and cool down included. You have 50 on and 15 off with a set of dumbbells and 3 rounds through to get the most out of this workout. You're gonna aim for 8 to 12 repetitions so that we're in that muscle building range, all right? The warm-up is unique. This is a warm-up that is meant to engage the core, prevent us from having movement patterns that cause injury and pain, and help you find kinetic alignment. Our first warm-up is a quadruped T. Come with me at the tone. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, find a neutral back position. We're flexing those feet and pushing back through those toes as we bring an arm up and out to the side. So we're about 30 degrees in front of our body. My thumb is pointing up towards the ceiling, and I have a gentle pull in on my belly button as I support a neutral spine position. Pushing back through those toes helps stabilize my hips, and that gentle pull in on my belly button warms up my core, a crucial stomach girdle muscle that supports the spine. In 7 seconds, we're gonna go to a glute bridge with a pullover. So rolling onto our back, feet flat on the ground, toes, knees, hips straight line. Our hips are gonna go up and then back down. And we're gonna reach those arms overhead, arms locked nice and straight. You can start to reach by reaching to your tops of your thumbs. The key is to keep those shoulders down and back away from those ears. As you tap the tops of those thumbs, and you no longer feel like your arms are bending, going wide, or a stretch along the outside of the armpits, you can go to the top of the fists, and then eventually the back of those flat hands. The key is that big stretch to the outside of that armpit. That's that big lat muscle. We're gonna hop up to the feet. We're gonna go to a single leg balance to engage those glutes, and a walking leg. So tapping the toes behind you, squeezing the bum. And then we're gonna bring the heel in front, curl the toes under. So not only is this training our hips to engage, to stabilize our ankle, knee, and hip, as in training those glutes, we're also working a shin muscle that helps us have proper squat form and support the medial arch of our foot, which helps ankle, knee, and hip position as we move day to day. So as we tap behind, we're not tapping super far, we're just squeezing those glutes. We tap the heel in front, go ahead and switch sides. Nice, slow, and controlled. We're not reaching and we're not letting those hips sway as we tap forward and back. Nice and tall and long posture, that belly button in, just like we warmed up with the quadruped and the glute bridge. I know the warm-ups are different, but hopefully you're feeling that balance begin, that arch is supported, the hips are firing up. In 15 seconds, we're gonna finish this warm-up with the dumbbells with a deadlift row to wake up the entire body and engage the backside. 4 seconds, pick up a set of dumbbells, bend those knees. We're gonna line up, toes, knees, hips, straight line. We sit the hips down and back into a deadlift type position and then pull the dumbbells towards the hips. Stand up by pushing the hips forward and squeezing the glutes. As we go down, we want to keep the shoulders down and back away from those ears. The chest stays up tall and the belly button stays in. It's as if we're picking something up off the floor. Notice I'm moving my head with me. I have a neutral spine from head to hips. I'm looking at the floor about 3 feet in front of me, and I'm pulling those dumbbells towards my hip pockets. 3 seconds to finish that warm up. All of these exercises are compound movements. We're working legs and upper body at the same time. Your first exercise is a lunge to a row. So staggering those feet while they're hip width apart, all 5 toes of that back foot on the floor. We're gonna go down into a lunge position, pull that dumbbell towards the hip, release, and then stand up and squeeze those glutes. Come with me in 3. Here we go. Down, toes, knees, hips, straight line. A slight Incline on that chest as that dumbbell comes down next to our front foot. Exhale as you pull towards that hip, bending that arm. No rotation in that body. That core stays nice and tight. So belly button gently pulled in. Exhale, push through, push those hips forward and squeeze that bum. Remember, to be muscle building, we're looking for those 8 to 12 repetitions, with the last 2 to 3 repetitions being challenging without breaking form. No swinging, arching, keeping that belly button in. 2 seconds. You're gonna feel that in that front hip. We're going to a total body shoulder exercise, a squat to scaption. So lighter weights. We're gonna sit those hips back like we're sitting in a chair. And then we're gonna bring those dumbbells up and slightly in front of the body, thumbs pointed towards the ceiling. Come with me. As we sit down, toes are pointed straight ahead. The second toe is in line with our hip bones, that bony hip. As we bring those dumbbells up, we're not shrugging those shoulders or swinging. We're leading with those hands, feeling those shoulder blades rotate. This is why we do that glute bridge pullover, to get those shoulder blades rotating. Our chin is tucked and our head is pushed back, so we shouldn't feel like that chin comes forward at all. Ears over the shoulders, over the hips. 6 seconds. Beautiful work. We're going back to that lunge to row on the opposite side. So you want to make sure that you're keeping count of your repetitions, so we can do the same number on both sides. Stagger those feet, all 5 toes. Come with me. So on all 5 of those toes, pushing into the floor as we go down into that lunge, and they stay there. We're rowing as we're down, guys. Sorry, belly button gently pulled in and no rotation. Aiming for about 90 degrees on those legs. My back knee does not come down to the ground. I'm rowing while I'm up, so my hips have to work the entire time, stabilizing my alignment. Remember, chin isn't gonna come forward as we work that back and pull towards that hip. Finally, we're gonna hit chest with a glute bridge to a declined chest press. So lying on the floor in that glute bridge position, toes, knees, hips, straight lines, come with me. Hips up, and then we're gonna push the dumbbells up in front, tap them together, bring them back down, and then the hips come down and tap, and then back up. In this upward position, our glutes are tight, our belly button is gently pulled in, our hands are facing our legs. If you have any pinching, pulling, pain in your shoulder, you can bring those palms facing. This should take some of that strain off of those shoulders. Making sure that our hands come down in alignment with the middle of our chest. This is the safest position for those arms. 8 seconds, so 2 repetitions left. Get the most out of it. Yes. And you're back to the top. So original leg forward for that lunge to row. Grab a heavier set of weights if you have them. 4 seconds. Stagger those feet. Down into that lunge. Pull towards that hip. That slight lean forward with the belly button gently pulled in. And our chin stays tucked with our head pushed back. So I'm starting off looking about 5 or 6 feet in the front, and then about 1 foot as I go down. Every time I come up, I'm squeezing my glutes. Notice I'm not getting any kind of weird rotation on my shoulder. I'm just pulling until my arm stops. It's no huge squeeze between those shoulder blades. It can be a gentle squeeze. But any big squeeze is going to cause an arch or have those shoulders climb up. 3 seconds. Nice work. Grabbing those lighter weights for that squat to scaption. This workout might not seem like a lot, but these compound movements bring that heart rate up high. 2 seconds. Sit down into that chair, up, and then thumbs pointed up towards the ceiling. Bring those dumbbells slightly in front. Shoulders down and back away from those ears. Tall, proud posture. We're only reaching up until those arms are about even with our shoulders. We really want to focus on not feeling this in our upper back and neck area. You're going to feel it working the front side of the shoulders. Potentially even those arms a little bit. 5 seconds. That's halfway through this workout already. 10 minutes in. You're going to make the most of it. We're going to keep working to that final bell. Lunge to row, opposite leg. Keeping track using the same weight, same number of reps. Here we go, down. Ooh, and I forgot to do the row in that downward position. Up and squeeze. Line up those knees and hips. Find your kinetic alignment. This is what helps prevent injury, prevent pain, and get you the most out of your workout. We're not just focusing on building muscle. We're focusing on better quality movement to build muscle that supports our body and improves our overall health and life. Keep that chest up tall. Don't let it dip down. Belly button in. 2 seconds. There it is. Glute bridge. Chest press. Finishing round 2 already. These are the 4 exercises. Let's get the most out of it. Toes pointed straight ahead. In line with those knees and hips. Big push up and squeeze. Nice, slow and controlled back down. Up and down with the hips. Then up and down with those weights. Squeeze the bum. Gently pull in that belly button. Those dumbbells. Tap down. Or tap together gently up in front of you. The wrists are going to stay over top of those elbows. This is better for the elbows, especially as we increase that weight. I don't want to see those weights coming down close to that body. Keep them out wide, stacked body position. 5 seconds. Are those hips talking yet? The legs are working. We're feeling this build muscle throughout our body. Guys, one last round. Lunge to row right here. Staggering those feet, hip width apart. Pulling up towards those hips at the base. Pay attention to that foot position. If you don't have a mirror, go ahead, turn your video camera on your phone or on your computer, and watch yourself move. Use that as a mirror. Make sure that we're not rotating that body. Make sure that it almost looks like you're doing a single leg squat. It's a squat with a kickstand, if you will. Heel over those toes. Knee right in front of that foot. Right underneath that hip. 3 seconds. Pull it up and squeeze. Feeling those hips work and that back. Last round of that squat to scaption in 5. Get that body set up. Roll those shoulders down and back. Sit down deep. Up. And then bring those dumbbells. Remember, it's not straight out to the side. It's slightly in front. And even in that position, as we raise them up, The chin stays tucked and the head stays pushed back. Just that small movement is going to help relax that upper back and neck area. We all carry all of that stress. Stop carrying your stress. Start focusing on your posture. And you are going to feel fabulous for it. You're down to 10 seconds. You're already making these steps in the right direction. Line that body in day-to-day life. Feel great. 3 more seconds. There it is. 2 exercises left, guys. We've got this. Lunge to row on that opposite leg. Opposite foot forward. Stagger those feet. We're working down. Big pull back and squeeze. Slow, controlled release. Chest up. Chest stays up tall, even though we've got this small lean forward, right? Belly button stays pulled in. My head is tracking with me, about a foot in front, and then as I stand up, it goes to about 4 to 6 feet in front of me. Line up those knees and hips. Feel them work. Big squeeze at the top. You're giving it your all for 10 more seconds. And then you've got 1 exercise left. You're on the home stretch. Yes. Glute bridge. Declined chest press. Right here. Onto the floor or mat. Line up, toes, knees, hips. Arms out to the side. Hips up. Big push up and squeeze. And then tapping those hips back down. It's not a big movement, but it's repetitions on those glutes. Engaging that core musculature. We're nice, slow, and controlled. Breathing with purpose. Exhaling as we push those dumbbells up and together. Remember that alignment. We're pushing and working towards better health, building that muscle for better metabolism, bone strength, so many positive things. That's the last one. Put those dumbbells off to the side and treat yourself to a cool down and stretch. Very focused movement patterns to stretch muscles that tend to get tight. Toes are straight ahead and wider than shoulder width. 1 small step forward so that the heel is in line with the opposite foot's toes. We're going to lean into that leg and we're going to squeeze the glutes, tucking the hips towards the ribs, getting a nice big stretch to the inside of that thigh. These muscles pull our knees in when we squat, lunge, walk up and down steps. They even make us walk on a tightrope. Stretch them out. They can cause a lot of pain and knee problems. So stretch them out, hold until you no longer feel that stretching sensation, and then go ahead and switch sides. Slight stagger on those feet, heel in line with the opposite foot, small bend in that knee, lining it up, and then tucking the hips under. Nice big deep breath in, exhale, squeeze the bum, tuck that hip towards that rib, enjoy that stretch through the inside of that thigh. Make a mental note if you feel one side tighter than the other. Come back and stretch it or pause the video and hold it a little bit longer. We're gonna come into that hip flexor in the front of that thigh. In a lunge position, our back foot is flexed. Feel free to put a blanket, pillow, or mat under that bottom knee. We're gonna squeeze the bum, tuck the hips under. Feel that stretch to the front of that hip, down into that thigh. We're gonna reach it up towards the ceiling. Small lean to the side. Nice and controlled position. Big stretch through the front of that hip and down into the thigh. If we're very tight, please try to hold it longer. All right, I don't have a lot of time for the cool down and stretch in these videos, so make sure if you need to, you hold it a little longer. If it's tight, your body's talking to you, you need to stretch it out. Go ahead and switch sides, reach up, small lean to the side. Enjoy that stretch to the front of the hip and thigh. We don't want to be an al dente noodle. It does not increase the stretch that you are getting. It's a very focused stretch on muscles that cause pain and pulling when they get tight. Just a couple more seconds holding this, and we're gonna hear a beat, but I'm gonna go into a quick child's pose to stretch out those lats, control that breathing, toes together, knees wide. We're gonna bring those arms away, shoulders away from those ears, and a final big deep breath in. Expand the belly, expand the lungs, and then sink down deep, pushing that chest towards the floor, hips towards the ribs. Nice big stretch through the outside of the armpits, down into that low back. Again, muscles that tend to get tight make us have bad posture and cause pain in the long run. I hope you feel strong, empowered, and like you work towards your goals. 20 minutes for you to find your strength and your kinetic balance. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel for more free 20-minute cardio and strength workouts. I love your input on my videos, so comment below. I want to see you feel your best, build that muscle, build healthy lungs, and just live your best life. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again next time.